I'm learning how to sew my own clothes, and I'm teaching you too. Today, we're starting with adjustable circle skirts. The waist has fluctuation and it has pockets, and it's the easiest thing ever, but first you must iron. I'm choosing to use a cotton linen queen size bedsheet for this. I thrifted it and washed it, and now it's ready to live its life as clothing. As you can tell, this first video was taken before the crucial ironing step, and also I had to get it inspected by my cat Astrid. Anyways, you're going to want to quarter your sheet. So fold it in half and then in half again, and then find your center corner, which is this one that has the folded side on one side and then the two separate but folded sides on the other. I don't know if that made any sense, but visually, that is your center corner, and that is where you will measure down your waist measurement from. Then you will measure down from that opening and across for your hem length. I'm going to show you how to measure your waist for the skirt. I rolled my jeans down a bit because where I want to measure is right here at the smallest portion of my waist where it goes in, right? That's where you want to go. Oh, this thing is cold. So you want to have your measuring tape along there, or your string if you don't have a measuring tape, and then feel where it goes over. Don't pull too tight. The Mood Fabrics website also has a circle skirt calculator, which I used, but my measurements came out wrong for this because I forgot to add the ease to my waist measurement. So I just put in my straight waist measurement, and now I cut my circle skirt a bit too small, but it's turning out for the best because now I have an example to show you guys when it's all done. This is what one that's too small looks like, and I also accidentally made one too big. So I'm accidentally making good teaching examples for you guys, but this tool on the Mood Fabrics website is really great, and I'll link it in the description. And if I forget to link it in the description, bully me until I do. Thanks. Once you have your waist calculation, you're going to take that measurement and measure down from the peak of that center corner that we found earlier. For me personally, I like to make a mark down from the center, and I like to also measure down on either side of the corner and make a mark as well. That gives me enough of a guide to follow with my scissors along the correct measurement line. When I mark out my hemline, I tend to put like 2 or 3 more measurement marks because the wider distance tends to make my scissors wander, and I don't really want a wonky hem all the time. To get the length measurement for this particular skirt, I decided to just go for the longest that the material afforded me to be able to go, which was about 36 and a half inches. I wasn't sure at this point what my end result or my true potential or purpose for this skirt, I guess, would be. I know now what I'm gonna do with it, and I'm glad that I went as long as I did because now it allows me to have a bit more flexibility. When making clothing, remember, you can always make something smaller or shorter, but it's much more difficult to make something bigger or longer. Once you cut the material, it's been cut, and you can reattach and sew things together. Actually, this dress right here is a patchwork extraordinaire. It is absolutely made of a bunch of patches to get enough fabric for the pattern panels. It's actually kind of crazy. That was a lesson in measure thrice, cut once. These clips of me cutting are actually sped up to 2 times speed. No shame in going slow and taking your time to make sure you do it right. When you finish cutting out your skirt, you'll have a fun little piece like this, and hold on to it. Take my scissors, and on either side here of like the center, I'm going to cut down about four, I don't know, is that 4.5 inches? I lied, it's 7. You're gonna cut down 7 inches. That's how we're gonna do this tie function. Flip it over to show you a little like progress, you know? So, are you like you're seeing how it's like that will come around? Oh gosh. Okay, that will come around, and obviously I have a pretty big gap between either sides of my waist. Can I do this while I hold everything up? I have a pretty big gap, but I kind of, my personal preference, I I like this style because I like having a nice portion of the ribbon. I don't know. It's just what I like. But now I mean, look at that twirl. Like, now you shall watch me scrounge for the right trims and ribbons to use on this skirt. Also, do not mind the state of this room. This room has become a catch-all project room. The house I'm in is a bit of a project. My dad and I are working on remodeling it a bit, and this room is next on my list. So if you want to see me turn it into my dream sewing room, leave a comment and I'll film that. Now it's time to attach the waistbands. To do this, I take each side of the waistband, fold it in half, and then fold the side of the waist that I'm attaching it to in half to get the center of both the waist and the waistband. Then I pin from the middle point outwards along the curve of the waistband. I use a lot of pins. There's probably a better way to sew along a curve, but this is the way that works for me. Then you go ahead and run it through your sewing machine and attach the waistband to your waist. Don't mind that stain. We're going to cover that up later, okay? This is what happens when you thrift your materials. After you've attached your waistbands, you should be able to tie them like this. Remember, I made my skirt too small, so don't do what I did, but it'll look nice. Take the time to double fold and press your hem before you sew it because it looks much nicer and it's nice to have nice things. Also, you will be swallowed whole by fabric while sewing this because a full circle skirt is a lot of skirt. I will now walk you through how to add pockets, but you have to know that I taught myself how to do this 3 hours ago. Ironed it, and I'm going to try to make pockets for the first time ever. What I'm thinking is, because I need both ends open, you're not going to fully close this pocket because it needs to open with the waist of the skirt. And I think if I do like this side, I'll try that, and if it works, I'll tell you to do that. Stopped being foolish, and I did a mock-up out of paper first to see if I could get this right, and it seems like it's a real pocket that will function with the style of the skirt. So, I'm going to go ahead. Exactly! I'm going to go ahead and cut out this shape then and attach them. Don't worry if none of that made sense because I tried it in practice and it worked, and now I'm going to walk you through it properly. You will cut about like a kidney shape. I don't know what your kidneys look like. A pocket shape. This shape is what you will cut. This flat edge of your pocket shape is the side that you will sew to either opening of your waist. The long curve right here will be sewn up to this point, and the small little curve up here will be completely sewn. Now that you know what your pocket should look like and which parts will be attached and sewed, go ahead and pin it to your skirt opening. Take your time when doing this. There is no rush, there is no deadline, there is no timer dinging down on you have to pin everything in 30 seconds. I take my time and I pin twice or 3 times sometimes before I take it to the sewing machine. This clip is sped up to 2.5 speed, I believe. I take my time, and you should too. But those flat edges are going to be what you pin to the skirt opening. And make sure that you pin it raw sides together so that when the skirt is on and flat, you don't have the raw hem poking out. I accidentally pin things on inside out all the time. So just, again, take your time with this. This is the curved edge that we are not going to sew all the way closed. So I make sure that my pins pin it all the way up until the stopping point, which I believe I left about a 3.5 gap between where it was sewed and where I left it open. And for added emphasis, here is me making sure you know not to sew that part. But once you have your pins in, go ahead and finally take it to your sewing machine and sew along the curves and the edges that need to be closed and attached to your lovely skirt. While you watch me sew this up, I am going to tease you about what's coming next in this video. I am making the same skirt, but shorter, and this time attaching a ruffle hem, and then the closure being a row of snaps or hook and eyes to the inside tie, rather than having like a bulky bow, because I know that some people don't like that, and it can get annoying sometimes to have to tuck the ties of the ribbon in or to have a little bump from the bow. So next, I will be showing you how to make this skirt with those modifications. Enjoy some sewing footage and copyright-free ragtime music until the next skirt. Okay, thanks, bye. finished the pockets. I'm supposed to be leaving to go out of town now, but I had a moment in my head where I was like, oh, I think I finally understand how to do these, and I had to jump on it. For further clarification, this is how it all comes together. Everything being white makes it hard to see, but any other color pocket would have made the skirt unable to be worn how I want. So this red line is the line of the opening of the skirt. The blue line is the line of the opening of the pocket. And that center portion in the middle you see that I'm highlighting in black is all the interior of the pocket. So your hand is going to go between the red and the blue line into the black. You still have the ability to open on the sides. Remember, I made this skirt too small, so it won't lay perfectly, and I'm gonna have to really cinch her in. It looks questionable right now, but bear with me. Look at how deep that is. The best part about making your own clothes is you can make them completely customizable. So I can make these pockets specifically big enough to hold my scissors. And there it is. It's quite wonderful, I would say. And now for the same, but different. We're making a second skirt. This one I will be making shorter with a ruffle hem and a snap closure instead of a double ribbon. The process will be the same as it was before for the waist measurement, but this time I'm actually doing mine properly and I added the inches needed for ease. Like I told you to, I actually did it this time. The length will be different on this one, so I found a skirt that I liked the length of, measured that, and then did that measurement on this lovely bedsheet. And you measure down from the line of your waist measurement. I don't think I said that the first time. Again, you will put a few marks of your measurement lines and then cut along those lines, and then you will have your skirt. But now we're going to go in and cut again along the curve of the hem from the original piece of fabric, about 3.5 inches down, and this will become our ruffle. Once you have finished all of your cutting, you will have a variety of circles. Go ahead and look at those circles, take them in, appreciate the geometry of it all. And then, like the other skirt, mark down a few inches from the opening of your waist. And because I cut this waist the correct size, I'm not going to go as far down on the slits as I did on the skirt that I put the pockets in. After you get your waist slits cut, all of your cutting will be done, and a really important next step is to provide an enrichment activity for your sewing assistant. This is my sewing assistant, and she requires many enrichment activities while I am bound by chain to my sewing machine. So make sure you get that step done. And then we'll take our skirt to the sewing machine. The next step is to make, attach, and sew the waistband, just like we did before. Repeat those steps, and then we're gonna do something different. We're gonna change our sewing machine settings. There are 3 main settings: your tension, your width, and your length. This is where they are positioned on my sewing machine. And these are the settings I put them to for this next step to make a ruffle. This is a shortcut way to make a ruffle. Typically you put like a long stitch length, and I can't quite remember, but typically you do a certain setting and then you pull a string through and you make the ruffles and the gathers, but it's kind of tedious. It takes a long time, and oftentimes the thread snaps and then you have to start all over again. There's also attachments you can buy to put on your sewing machine to help you make a ruffle. Very quick, convenient, and it doesn't require me to purchase any additional tools for my sewing machine. So this way may not produce the most amazing result or perfect result, but it's free, it's easy, and it's quick. So I say it's the way to go. For this ruffle process, you will be sewing that ruffle hem we cut out directly to the hem of the skirt that we cut out in the beginning. So you're attaching them both together at the same time to create that double kind of ruffle. And here are the ruffles. Are they absolutely perfect ruffles? No, we did a shortcut way to get here, but did it take us just a few minutes? Yes, and that's what we're all about. Now, this is my finished waistband. As I said before, the interior closure on this skirt will be a row of snaps instead of a ribbon that you tie into a bow. So to figure out where I'm going to place those snaps, I'm going to put the skirt at the smallest waist it can be and still lay flat, which for this one is 24 inches. Don't mind my tripod failing. It's a coat hanger. Anyways, you want to do the same, but with the largest setting that it can have while the skirt still lays properly. So make sure that you don't get gaps at the sides. That's what happened on my other skirt. That's why those pockets really had to be there. When you get your smallest and your largest size that the skirt can accommodate, go ahead and put a snap at the smallest, a snap at the largest, and then one in the center. They'll even out to about 2 inches apart each snap. I was struggling to untie this with one hand to show you how it all works all sewn together, and then I remembered that I made this to fit me, and I have a body, and I was available at the time. So now I'll show you it on because that makes more sense. This skirt is ready. Again, I'm going to demonstrate this. You step in, and now we have, I'll come closer. You have snaps. Now, I just ate dinner, so I'm at the center one, which, so you can vary it. And then the front one, don't judge my bow tying skills. Now I'm going to take off my pants. And as the French say, here it is. Although I feel like this skirt and the other one deserve a better grand reveal. If you enjoy to twirl and you enjoy feeling wistful and whimsical, I highly suggest you make this skirt. The skirt provides wonderful possibilities like having the remote, always handy. I don't know why I did that. Also, you can layer the skirts, which is really fun to do. Think of it this way, okay guys? Friday morning or afternoon or evening because people work. Friday, go to the thrift store, find some tablecloths, some curtains, some bed sheets, some whatever for a couple bucks. Come home. Saturday, make your skirts. Sunday, go to brunch in your skirts. I just designed the most perfect springtime weekend for you. And look at all the possibilities that these skirts provide. And yes, I like to wear all of my skirts at once. And thanks for noticing the corset. It's from the brand Corset Story, and I got it at the thrift store for $5. Okay, now enjoy the rest of this video and my twirling and posing. And if you watch this far, you're amazing. Thank you. And maybe subscribe? Could be kind of cool.